You okay? You falling asleep?
I'm trying to say something about... No, I was just closing my eyes and resting them. Trying to think what... I'm so anxious about what I'm anxious about. I'm anxious about what I'm anxious about. Now what?
That does sound loud. Oh, I see that. That did... That was... We could talk a little bit more for a second. I'm just testing the levels again, seeing...
Over the river and through... No, don't sing, right?
You can do it.
Yes, like. Over the river and through the wood to grandmother's house. What? I've lost the word that rhymes with herb.
It wasn't herb that you were saying.
No, but over the wood and through the yes. And
speed.
Weed. Oh, over the river and through the wood to grandmother's house we speed. That's it. The horse knows the way to carry the sleigh towards the bright and glistening weed. I've forgotten the rest of the words that go with this old song. Oh, womp-da-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee.
Hey!
Yeah.
Yep, that was good.
You know, when I went to camp...
High anxiety whenever you're near. High anxiety, it's you that I fear.
Welcome to the first ever Grandma-Grandson podcast.
This is my grandma.
And this is my grandson.
Where we grapple with...
the biggest problems of life, the universe, and everything. The things that affect us all and things that affect us both.
And the small things that don't matter in the slightest.
We do it all with 70 years between us.
And a bowl of very fresh cannabis.
But from just down the street.
Welcome to
High Anxiety. I thought that was real good.
It's very clear to me I've got to give in. High anxiety, you win.
You know, when I went to camp, summer camp, 2 months, we went 2 months away from home, from very early age. We, every morning at this place, you sang. I was singing around here all morning, couldn't stop. Good morning, stop yawning. Good morning to you. Wake up, cheer up, smile all day through. Keep up your spirits, even in rain. The sun will shine again. And then immediately that would be followed by happy birthday to you, happy birthday to whomever it was that day. And
how many people were there?
100 maybe.
So on average it was somebody's birthday.
Somebody's birthday. Maybe not quite that many, but a lot. And then...
I guess I forgot how many days of the year there were.
Yeah, right.
Hey, they don't pay us to do math over here on the Almost Radio.
See, then there was another deadly song.
Well, so this is the one of the things I think we should really talk about, which is perhaps the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Which is age.
Age, all right.
I mean...
doesn't upset me.
Maybe me, well, probably me more so.
Yeah.
what are we, 69 years
apart? Mm-hmm.
Give or take nothing, I guess. That's it, exactly.
No, you're further away than I. Let's see, you're 25.
I'm just as far away in age from you as you are from me.
That's true.
That I know. I know that.
But you're 25 and
Right.
I'm 94, so that's 20 something 9. I can't see those letters in my head.
Well, you get the letters out of there. The letters aren't
the
helping.
the numbers.
Oh, okay.
94 and 25 is 5 from 14 is 9, and 3 from 9 is 6, 69.
Well, it's settled then.
Yes.
So 69 years apart, and yet I feel like we have similar issues that we
Yes.
think about, right? That where I call you when you're thinking about the eating, or you're thinking about what you're worried about, you're thinking about what to do during the day, or how to, you know, it's we have these similar things.
Yeah.
But age itself is so supercharged.
It is. And of course, you don't really realize it until you're in it.
Until you're in it. And that's it. That's just it. I think right now, it's right now that I just got in it.
You got into old age?
I just got into age. Before age wasn't even a thing.
Oh.
It was a thing that you thought about becoming a thing, but it wasn't.
Well, 25 is a very crucial age.
That's it. Then everybody says that.
And 90 is a very crucial age.
What isn't a crucial age?
75 is a very crucial age.
What isn't a crucial age?
47. Gotta admit, that's got nothing.
That must feel great to be 47 then. But don't you think those people are thinking about 50 is right around the road? And now I'm saying, well, that's 3 years away. You've got 3 years.
Yeah, right.
But they're going, what's 3 years to 47?
But you see, this whole thing about being afraid of old age, you have to separate that from being afraid of dying. And you have to make that adjustment early in your life. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's not.
And you have to make that adjustment.
You can get away with smacking the microphone because you're older than you're older. You get so many more excuses.
Yeah.
I think that it's not that we're afraid of the getting older, it's that we're afraid of the change. Because every age has its responsibilities. Every age has what we see as the norms of that age. When I'm 25, there are things that I have to do now that I didn't have to think about when I was 21. And maybe it's not true, but I think that I'm supposed to think about them, and so that adds this pressure. And I was used to just thinking, for myself or about school or about these very self-contained little worlds that I was in, and now it's much bigger. Everything's kind of expanding.
Are you recording now?
Yeah, we're recording all the time.
Where's the little graph?
That's a screensaver.
Oh.
This is my thought. I noticed I feel older.
Well, you are older, but you're not old. That's different. You're older than 24 and 23 and almost everything before you.
I think I'm older than everyone that's younger than me.
You are.
All of them.
Well, absolutely, and so is everybody else in the same position, so you don't have to feel special.
Oh, I don't feel special, and that's also troublesome. Not troublesome.
You want to feel special?
I don't want to feel special, but I don't want to feel strained by the things that I know everybody has to deal with, and yet I do. And then at the same time, you go, I don't deserve to feel strained because this is just a normal thing.
Well, usually, I don't know. I wanted to get older.
Until when? I wanted to get older too. Until maybe I was
almost
19.
now. I wish I were 95.
Well, what's better about 95?
it's it's sort of like one of those numbers.
Just because it's a rounder number.
Well, it's not round at all. And
Well,
yeah.
You could count it on an even number of hands.
Yeah.
19 hands.
Really? Is that right?
Well, yeah, if you had 9.5 friends and they all held their hands up.
Now, see, there's another recollection. Maybe that's something that happens when you get older, is you think of. I mean, this brings up a thought from a scene from a long time ago.
Which is?
And I think I remember it, but it's also been told to me. So, by my mother or somebody, when Sonny was a baby, we had a nurse at home for her at first, and she kept an eye on me, and I was taking a bath one day, and she heard me talking to myself in there, and she said, "Felice, who are you talking to, or what is it you're saying?" And I said, "I'm telling myself I'm 5, but I'm really only 4.5."
And you were delighted.
No, I wanted to be 5.
Oh, that was what you were saying out loud. I'm 5, I'm 5, I'm 5.
Yeah.
I felt that way when I was younger, for sure. When you were 9, you wanted to be 10, and when you were 15, you wanted to be 16, and 18. To me, it stopped probably right as kind of cresting 20, maybe 21 gives you something. 25, I can rent a car without paying extra.
Yes.
That's what you get.
But you lose some coverage of insurance.
One more year. That's it.
Yeah.
25, you get the car. You get 1 year of having cheap car rentals and health insurance. Mm-hmm. And after that, it's just the cars.
Oh dear.
It doesn't seem like a fair trade-off.
No. Well, you have to shop around. I find I'm paying too much car insurance. I just sort of sit quietly with Allstate and let them screw.
Well, now it's less for car insurance, but no health insurance.
Yeah. Well, so it's
easier to drive a car and fewer people to pay for all the bones littered around the highway afterwards. But that was the thing that I never really thought about. If I was younger, I never thought, health insurance. That really, every time I went to the hospital, things got fixed, and I don't go to the hospital that much. But now I'm starting to feel like, it might be good if somebody could fix some of these things in here.
Oh, Obama had that idea.
Well, he did, and because of that, now I'm covered for 8 more months or something. But that's it.
I don't think anybody's happy with that.
Well,
thing. I think it's going to cost me more too.
I don't think so. Anyway,
even me. Well, I didn't think I had anything more to. No, but I know that when I was working in Washington, and I was becoming 24, I always said I was 24.
24 is a nice age because
it's older than 23. It's a lot older.
It really sounds a lot older, but anybody in that general age range that wants to see you as older can.
Yes.
You can call yourself early 20s if you want still, but you can certainly call yourself mid-20s.
Yeah.
And now I've lost the early 20s card. There's no going back to early 20s.
No.
I'll never be in the early 20s again, as far as I can tell.
Oh, do you feel very sad about that?
Physically, I think something snapped. I really think something snapped. I think that I immediately started aging faster. I just feel like I kind of feel like I have boobs now more than I. I know. Well, it used to.
Couldn't you stick to the gender at least?
Well, I think that the men in our family have always been buxom.
Really?
Well, maybe it's the Levinsons.
No.
Maybe it's the other side. Maybe it's my dad from my dad's side. But my thought is, that was the one advantage I used to have over other skinny, shrimpy guys. Like, say, in middle school or high school, we'd all be kind of skinny, but, a girl could look at me and from afar could go, wow, it looks like muscle. It might be muscle. And it's not.
No.
It's not. It's just the shape.
No.
And now, every time I eat a sandwich, I feel like I have to, go up a cup size. I really, now I get nothing out. Now I get, that could have been a selling point for a prom date. No, he's not just a stick. And now you'd get, but I don't feel like I used it enough. I don't feel like I capitalized enough on that as a benefit. I don't think I got enough dates by girls going, ooh.
I didn't know that was an attraction.
Well, if to a point. To a point,
To a point.
Like any
I'm
muscle.
I'm glad you're glad that you've got it because
No, but see, I feel like I didn't capitalize while it was useful. Well, I could have gotten dates, more attention from girls going, oh, muscle. I don't think that ever happened, but now they can go, ooh, boobs. And that's good. That'll lose you more dates.
Really?
Well, now and there's not a lot of going back from that, unless I exercise. That's sort of out of the question.
Exercise takes it away.
Well, you could probably exercise anything, but it just feels like that's my destiny.
I don't know. I should think that would be a hormonal thing.
You think it's a hormonal thing? Do you think this means I'm in touch with my feminine side more, maybe?
Maybe.
Could do without it, I guess.
I don't know. I really have not been faced with a problem before. I didn't realize that. I thought maybe guys who were very fat, I occasionally noticed on TV, but otherwise, it's never crossed my mind. I'm really an innocent.
Well, it's like you could be if you're a Sasquatch, you probably have
Sasquatch. Sasquatch.
Bigfoot, I guess.
Oh, Bigfoot. I see what you mean.
Or anybody from New Hampshire.
Mm-hmm. Anybody from what?
New Hampshire.
Oh. Why New Hampshire? Is that where the Sasquatch is?
Honestly, I have no idea. Maybe Alaska, actually. I feel like that's a good place to be large. It's spacious in a way. So
yeah,
it would help you get around.
Healthy.
It's a healthy way to be up there. Saves on your heating bills. If you're a Sasquatch, you're probably going to have like big feet. That goes with the territory. But you could also be a short guy that has big feet, just cause. And so I think,
or just have bad posture.
I don't think that makes your feet bigger.
No, but it could make you.
You look more like a Sasquatch.
Yeah.
But you can't have skinny guys that just proportionally have
big boobs.
Yeah.
Right. No, we can't. We can't, and they must be eradicated.
You're talking about your grandson to a point.
Well, I know.
That's I drove all the way down here. And we're going to take a break.
We're having...
I don't think we have break. Oh, we have breaks now.
Well, how do you know when we need to take a break?
Seeing as no one is paying us, we don't have to take breaks.
We don't have to take breaks at all.
No, we don't.
But we have to continue to have something to talk about, and we're really talking about nonsense now. I'm not sure more how much age you would use. Oh, age. You're going to use age. Oh, age. Let's think about something about age. Age. I have come to a point in my life where I'm kind of more depressed, and then now is the time, if not before, if you haven't done it before, is when regret hits what you didn't do or what you did that you shouldn't have, that kind of thing that you miss doing.
But I feel the same. I feel the same
know
way.
what you do.
I feel the same. I go, look at the things I didn't do in high school. Look at the things I
Yes.
didn't do in college. Look at the things I didn't do
But
in my
the
couple years after college.
difference is that you have uncountable time to keep on pursuing the goals. If you think there's something you didn't do that you should have done, all you need to do, you happen to be in an unusually wonderful position, and it's just like, it's absolutely unreasonable. Too loud?
The crinkling of the...
Oh,
You would think I have uncountable time.
you have so many wonderful opportunities at the moment, or at least offers of opportunities, such a variety of them, that one has to wonder if this wide appetite, will ever be satiated.
Hi from the future. Just so this is a tiny bit less abstract, the opportunities she was referring to are mostly grad schools and law schools. A few months after this, I'd start a PhD program that I lasted 4 months in, and defer law school at a place where I had rolled the acceptance letter up as a blunt. I wasn't even a proper smoker. It was all just disrespectful. I didn't have that Elwood's resolve to actually do the thing. And later I went back for a PhD at that same law school, never did the law part. Grams left this planet just a few months before I finished last year. And, rude, though understandable. And I would love to know so much what she would say if we had the same conversation now, 10 years later. But anyway, in a few minutes, she says, Staples, by the way, that's just the name of a school. Sorry for the interruption. And here we go, back to when we were both just kids.
Satiated, because between now and whatever will be the time of your life that you decide to move to another level of existence that we go to from here, you have time to do those things. Remember the Wieners who lived next to us in Westport?
I never lived with you.
Oh,
in
you
Westport.
never lived there. Of course, you were too little. All right. Well,
I wasn't. Well,
I
wasn't born.
Look, he was a nice guy, and he was making a good salary on Madison Avenue as the business end of advertising,
Mm-hmm.
and but we didn't know, of course. But deep in his heart, he never felt complete. He was I forget what good school he went to, but he went to a good school. He was very well educated. He read prolifically. Mm-hmm. And after age 50, he went to Wesleyan College and got his, whatever is the degree you needed to teach in high school. And he taught in Staples very successfully at half a salary for the rest of his life. I mean,
I've heard this story, but there's okay.
Now there's a guy who went to 50 before he had the ability or wherewithal or whatever to take off a couple of years, from his earning money to go and get his degree. And then he got the job he wanted, which was, there in town. And, he, even before he became a teacher, he went around looking like Mr. Chips, He had gray flannel pants and a tweed jacket, and always, and and a pipe, and he always seemed like a teacher. He never seemed like an ant. He was ready to be a teacher then, but something had held him up from making his mind up. It would have been interesting, to know if, he would have liked to have gone on after high school.
Right. Don't you think it's really different how he became a teacher and probably how he felt about being a teacher, coming to it that way as opposed to coming to it
from the top down?
Yeah, I mean, the way that he did, that's, you say, oh, well, maybe, I doubt it. I don't know if he feels this way, but, I wonder if he thinks, well, I wish I'd done this 30 years ago. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he goes, I'm glad that I came about it this way, take the pressure off in certain ways, value it in different ways.
Yeah.
Because, there are these, even with something like that, where you say, I never was a teacher and you can become one. Mm-hmm. Or you could say, I've never skydived before, and one day you can just go and do that. This checking things off the bucket list. But the things that I worry about more are these lives that are totally unled. They say, I never lived this kind of life, and even at 25, some of those ships have just sailed. I mean, and this isn't really something I think about, but like. I'm not going to go to med school, I'm not going to become a doctor.
But did you ever aspire?
Not really, but at the same time, there are days where I go, wow, I really think a lot about thinking. Maybe I'd have a great time as a psychologist, a real psychologist, or a psychiatrist even, and I could be helpful in my own neuroses,
Would you like your own neuroses?
And to use those for something good instead of just fueling themselves. But I can't.
So you just said something good. You'd like to use your talents for something good.
Not even if they're talents. I'd like to use anything that I got for more than just getting over those same things.
You'd like whatever it is you do to be giving something of yourself other than, say, just other than, say, selling something across the counter or
maybe, but I think all of those things can be. I don't know, all of those things can be really valuable depending on how you look at them, from what angle and what your perspective is. And, for me, it's about that connection. And the connection is between feeling like you're taking all the things that are you and connecting them to what it is that you do and how other people relate to what it is that you do. And
well, it's what other people relate, how people relate to what you do have a lot of importance in what you do.
I think so, yeah. I mean, you could write in a vacuum and just write in your room and go, wow, these are really great sentences, but that doesn't mean anything to me.
You got to sell it.
It's not about the selling. It's about, nowadays, selling is, say, one way of knowing that that it is connecting to something outside yourself, or, you put something on the internet and likes and other things. That's not, it's indirect, but it's this indicator that people are connecting to what it is, so that it's not just you doing it for your own sake. There's something slightly larger than that maybe doesn't validate it, and maybe that's the wrong way to look at it. But for me, there are very few things that I can do
that you want to do.
No, they're totally in a vacuum by themselves. Where they're fully everything I need them to be, without any interaction with something larger, with other people or the outside world.
How do you work at something without having an interaction with it?
Well, it's just, it's like I could sit in a room and, bounce a ping pong ball on a paddle, you know what I mean? And just go, I'm doing this by myself.
You're doing this by yourself, and people don't think very much of that as a career.
Imagine that was. Imagine you could get paid, you get paid $200 a day to bounce a ball on the paddle. It just wouldn't
satisfy
that
you.
wouldn't cut. And I think some people would go, "Hey, good gig, shoot for that. That's a good job where you can probably choose your own hours. Maybe not. I don't know, but you probably can wear whatever you want at least, and there's probably good job security. There's not a lot of danger, and you could do that, but there's nothing that relates to other people. This is the thing that I see. The way I think maybe the way that my regrets take shape is when I think about the entire shape of what your life would be like if you'd made some other choice, not just the one thing that I hadn't done, but that one thing and all the things that it leads to.
Ah, you just said the magic thought. You
What?
articulated the magic thought.
What?
That the thing that you choose at this point, or at an early point, is not necessarily the end in all. It starts sprouting. It sprouts. The whole career sprouts if you let it, or to include other people, other purposes.
Right.
And I mean, I told you about Eleanor's daughter, who gave up the opportunity to be a partner in her firm.
No. What?
Well, she's a lawyer, and she's now in her mid-40s.
About 47.
Yeah, I think so. Did I told you this?
No,
But
it's
that's
a good
true.
age.
She's just about that age. And she's just about to give birth to twins. And
What?
yes, and that's her first delivery. And she a couple of years ago, she was offered a job in a firm she was with, as a partner, and she turned it down. She make it all she needed to make, and took a job that she very much wanted to do, and I do her injustice to try to describe it because I don't even know what it is, but it's not pro bono. She is paid, but it's a people profiting job. She really, I'm going to find out exactly but it's she's doing what she does best. The legal end of protecting these people, whoever they are. And she feels happier that way.
But I wonder if the only way that she's able to be quite as content in that is having gone through the maybe more sterile job that she was in before, and seeing the difference between them. And it's the difference that also makes her feel more satisfied, where if she went directly into that, she would go, well, I could, here are all the stresses that come from this, and I could be getting paid more, and that would allow me to do more things. And if I did that, then I could come and do this other thing better than I'm doing it now.
I can't speak for her, but when she made the choice to work for these people, this big firm, she was maybe fulfilling what she planned to do. Mm-hmm. Get a job that led to a better job. And but while she worked, her associated with a variety of people, this feeling came up, so that when she was given a specific choice, and being a partner in a very successful law firm is not nothing, and she absolutely was able to turn it down in favor of something that was going to give her more satisfaction, because she was delivering well-being somehow. Rather.
Well, maybe at that point she'd gotten most of the benefits. She recognized she'd gotten most of the benefits from that, say, partnership.
Yeah.
Already. And so she didn't need it. They couldn't actually really offer that much more.
No.
I worry about these things that are vastly different. You know, what if you could go into law and then you engage with the world as a lawyer legally. You look at things through the legal lens, whatever it is, but she's still looking at things through a legal lens. Or you go into academia, and you try and study particular things and become an expert, and you get more and more narrow, say, in your frame of reference in some ways. Or you could try and stay in the arts and just create for the sake of creating, but it's never fully that either. And
I don't know. Oh, there's where I wish I'd be. in the arts.
I just mean that, there are these completely different lives. They're so different in the way that you feel going through them. And maybe that shouldn't be the way that it is. Maybe you should be able to feel very similarly, just knowing that whatever it is that you do is just the tools for having traction on life or whatever. Does that make any sense?
I don't know exactly what that means sometimes.
I mean that, like, maybe it's stupid to say that what you do should have any bearing. Maybe it's like you're a lawyer, doctor, or maybe none of that should matter.
Well, no. Well, yes. I mean, what you choose to do, say now, with this array of choices that you have, is enviable. Most people would find enviable. And I don't think, most people would find, but that's exactly what I don't think you need. You don't need the approval of other people.
But the connection to them, it's not about approval, it's about knowing that you're actually...
he's only a garbage man. Did you ever see the movie Marty with the Ernest Borgnine?
No.
No? Well, the idea of it must be universal because they made it. It was first a book, then it was a play, and then it was a movie. And I think now they may be making the movie again. So, and the other night I saw the original movie, which is a so movie. But the idea is he's a butcher. He's, and the girl that he's fallen in love with she's a teacher. And her family is, they're just middle class people. I don't know what her father does, but he finds Marty, and Marty as a butcher doesn't offend him in any way. I think it's the mother thinks this is sort of a low-class kind of choice for her daughter. Do you know? We're talking now not plot, but this attitude towards... and Marty, he's a real schnook, to tell you the truth, the way they have him. And she is extremely recessive personality, very sweet. And, she thinks he's just such a lovely, sincere, open guy. Well, he really is a schnook, but the fact is, he's happy being a butcher. He's thinking of buying his own shop, but people in his family or some other people or something, tell him, he doesn't always want to be a butcher. If he has a shop, he's always going to be a butcher. And people look down on butchers, so this is the theme that they work. And of course, in the end, they go away happily together. He's a butcher, going to make the down payment on the shop, and she adores him. And all
That's
that.
it's just a great framework. You know, you're succeeding in the framework that you're inside of. When I did yard work after high school and the summer after my freshman year in college, I've never been more satisfied with a job, for sure. I remember doing this with a friend. You'd get a big pile of mulch, and it would take you maybe 2 days to just shovel it and spread it in other places, and you would watch the pile go down, and then it would be gone, and you would have done something, and stuff would maybe come back and past that house, and you'd see things growing where you put the mulch in. It was so concrete. It was so physical, so we're not just sitting. Everything was connected, and it felt great. It just felt great. And I wonder, we got paid amazingly well too. Yeah. I'm wondering why can't I just want that? What was it that made me go, wow, I'm really happy doing this? Why don't I stay doing this? Or why don't I accept that this could really be.
How old were you at that point? Were you in college?
18, 19, 17, 18, 19, I guess.
So you were in high school.
Yeah, and then into college, and there is this sense that there are these other opportunities that, we worked at the college before and were part of their yard work crew before we started our own. And the people that were there, they didn't have the opportunity to study what we could study. And so we did that. And then we said, well, now that we've studied this, we have to make good on this. And now that we've had this opportunity, we'll make good on this one. And sort of getting more distant from what was, at least for a time, a wonderful way of being. And we would get farther away from that, saying, oh, we can never go back. There's no part of me now that really, truly accepts, no, I could go back and start a yard work business and actually do that and feel good.
Well, how would it feel if you were, oh, I can't do that. Those cookies, sir.
Have a cookie.
Oh, we're recording. I'll be crunching.
Well, crunch then.
How about you?
Okay,
So-
here is the
So,
stuff.
what if now did any of your yard work
More, he changed my
flowers?
anxiety. It's always the same.
Okay, I'm cutting this here because Grams was a great writer of short stories and concise books, and I can imagine her saying, it's really getting too long today. So this conversation continued. I'll just pick it up here next time. Thanks for listening, and toodaloo. Toodle pip.
Anxiety. And remember, folks, be good to your parents. They've been good to you. You win.
Three from 9 is 6. 69.
Nice.